Welcome back, you guys. Life by You. You have myself, Jennifer, and Miss MJ. We're here to talk to you today about our wellness journeys. Aren't
Yes,
you
yes.
excited about this topic, MJ?
I have a love-hate relationship with the whole wellness thing. Like, I know it's something we need to do, but even as we were planning this topic, you put it perfectly. You said it's simple, but we complicate it so much, and that is just me to the T.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I complicate it too. Trust me. I do the same thing. But it is so needed. We have to have our wellness. Our health is our wealth. I don't care how much money you have. If you're not healthy, it means nothing.
I agree. It really means nothing. Like, none of this stuff. The other day, we're recording this post Thanksgiving, just so you guys are aware. So it'll be a little bit after we share this. But I got sick with the flu or something. Who knows these days? Because you can't keep track.
Right.
And I even told Zell, my husband, while I was sick, because we're also preparing to move, and that's a whole other thing. But being sick just makes you just think about things because you just
Yes.
forced to sit there.
Yes, it
And
does. It puts it all into perspective.
it really does. And I was just like thinking, we got to move. I'm sick. We have so much we need to do. I need to get better, get my wellness back in check. And I'm like, none of this stuff matters. You know what I mean? I'm just going to sell it all. It's all temporary because I
Yep.
can't, if I die today, I can't take any of it with me. You know
Nope.
what I mean?
Nope.
So that whole stance or that saying of health is wealth is just so, it really is true. Like everything that means something comes from you. So, your character, your values, your energy and all of that is really what impacts other people and yourself, not the stuff. You know what I
No.
mean?
No. And that's, yeah, I think we've lost track of that. Everybody just wants to get the bag and buy the house and the cars and the clothes. And I get it. Don't get me wrong. It's a great experience. And I hope everyone gets to experience that and do life on that level at some point. But when you start pulling back the layers and you remove all that materialistic stuff, you get to the core of what it is to really live. And it's joy and it's happiness and it's
Mm-hmm.
family and it's laughter and it's love and it's all the important things that we all think those things are going to bring us joy and happiness and all that kind of stuff. But all of those things are fleeting.
Mm.
So that's why we're talking about wellness as being important and getting your mind right and having your health right. Because when you get all those things together, it's like the perfect combination of true happiness in life. And that's just the
Totally
point of
agree.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you 100%. And since this is going to be shared around New Year's, everyone gets into that new year, new me whole vibe and energy. And some
Yes.
people get knocked for that. Like, I've had some family members who are just like, oh, I can't stand the new year because all these people are in the gym and all
Yeah.
this other stuff. And I'm just kind of like, I get it. The new year is a new promise. And especially with this damn pandemic, we're all looking forward to new opportunities and new energy and just a
Yeah.
new way to approach life. And honestly, that all has to start with wellness and taking care of yourself and your health. So I thought Jennifer and I talk about this a lot ourselves. We're always just trying to figure out how the hell we could get ourselves together. Like,
Yes. And I'm always trying new stuff and telling MJ, like, girl, I just had my blood analyzed today.
I
And she's
know. I
probably
need to
like,
follow up
what?
on that. I know. No, Jen is like awesome in terms of really trying out different things. And I've had my own like health elements over the years. And it's just endless pursuit of just not trying to stay young. Don't get me
No.
wrong. Like I'm not trying to stay young, but I just want to feel my best so I can give my best and be
Right.
my best,
We want to
you
have
know?
energy. We want to have energy. Energy is waste on the youth, man. It's like they
Right.
have all the energy, and it's like we need it when we're older because we're the ones running and doing, and we need that
Mhm.
energy. So if we
Mhm.
could be in our 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s and vibrant and healthy and run in circles around a 20-year-old, that's the
Right.
goal.
Right.
You
No,
know?
I'm with you 100%. So let's talk about what we're doing. Like
Yeah,
what steps we are taking because I think sharing is caring and I think it also just helps other people feel like I'm not alone in trying to explore this and try different things and just takes away some of this angst of like, oh, here you go, you trying something else or whatever. So, do you mind sharing some of the things that you're currently
not at
working
all.
on some of your goals and then some of the
Yes.
strategies you're deploying right now to kind of, you
Yeah.
know, reach
Um,
those goals.
so for me, I've always tried to be healthy. I've always tried to eat healthy and all of those kind of things. But I did have a few years where I lost sight of that. Still trying to work out consistently, but not eating as well as I should be. And so I think I shared on my YouTube video, I started having like gut issues and not like having heartburn. And I feel like I have a hernia that comes out of place sometimes. So that kind of sent me down a path of, okay, what is causing this? Because you go to the regular Western doctors, and what they want to do is give you a quick surgery, give you medications. And I have been on my health and wellness journey long enough to know that if something is disconnecting in the body, it's for a reason. We are
Mm,
born perfect human beings, okay? And so when they tell me, okay, this is out of alignment, this is not working, take this pill to fix it, I'm like, first of all, I don't like taking a whole bunch of pills. I'd rather do an IV and get my stuff done that way than sit there and take a bunch of pills, even vitamins. So that started me on my journey about 2.5 years ago. Did a whole dental thing and, trying to remove toxins from my body, trying to get everything into alignment. So that worked out. Now I'm on to the next level, which I get my blood work done, you guys, and my blood work is good. I don't have diabetes. I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have cholesterol, low cholesterol and all that. I mean, high cholesterol. So all of that looks good. But here's the thing, there's things under the surface that develop. So when people get cancer and chronic diseases like, lupus and what else is out there, Crohn's and all these other things, it's because of something that was off balance before. The
mm,
body gives you warning signs. First, it throws a little pebble, then it throws a little rock, and then you get hit with the brick. And the brick usually is cancer or some sort of disease that's going to knock you off of your center. And now you got to deal with all of this. So I'm very proactive into preventing that kind of stuff. So
mm.
last week, 2 weeks ago, my husband and I had our blood analyzed. I dragged my husband along, even though he's like, why do I got to do this? I'm healthy. I take herbs. I do this. Yes. Okay, great. But there's stuff under the underlining that we don't see. And when they analyze my blood, sure enough, I saw some stuff that I need to work on because if I don't work on it right now, it's going to cause problems in the future. Kidney
So,
failure, liver failure, things of that nature.
what did you see? Do you mind sharing?
No, I just wish I can explain it in like the medical terms. I'm not going to explain. I probably won't explain it right. They literally show you like they take a little prick on your finger, they put
Mhm.
it under a microscope, and they had it on this big screen, and we're sitting there, and I'm literally watching how my blood moves.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
there's parasites. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
parasites in there. You can feel like little things moving. My blood was more of like a spiral,
Hmm.
and I guess that could lead to strokes later if I don't address it now, meaning I need to get my blood alkalined and I need to get my gut acidic. So
Mm.
I was like, okay, I always thought you wanted an alkaline body, right?
Right.
Because that doesn't allow for disease. But apparently you do, but you want your blood alkaline. Do you want it flowing and you want it moving? It should be these beautiful, round, clear, like circles, and you should see your blood just flowing and everything being healthy. And mine wasn't doing that. So I was
Mm.
like, oh my God. So turns out I have not enough acidity in my stomach to break down the proteins that I've been eating. So that's where the heartburn, the bloating, the heaviness, the not feeling so good comes into play.
Mm.
So I have to correct that. And how I'm going to correct it is with the vegan diet. So my husband and I hired a chef to cook vegan food for us, and we're kind of like doing a reset. I'm not a vegan. I like chicken. I like steak. I don't eat those things all the time, but I'm not going to be full plant based. I just know that about myself. And I
Right.
love ribs. Hello.
Me too.
So we're doing this whole new diet literally 3 days in. My cravings for sugar is unreal.
Really?
Oh my god, girl. I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm not gonna make it."
Can you
I
have
could do
any
without the meat.
fruit? Can you
Oh,
have
yeah.
any fruit?
So
Okay,
last night
okay.
I had a oh, yeah, you can have fruit. So I think we're doing I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name, the Doctor, Sebi? Is it Sebi?
Oh, I think I've heard of it before.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have
so
to find it.
yeah,
Yeah.
so our chef, Chef
Mhm.
Myra, she's following his protocol and making
Mm.
recipes with what he, says is, like, gonna be alkalining for the body.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know if you know, I used to drink those, Essentia waters that were pH balanced 9.5. That was
Right.
the worst thing I could have been drinking
Really?
for my gut. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "Oh, absolutely stop drinking that." And so, who I'm talking about, you guys, is I go to a holistic doctor. I have holistic nurses. Don't get me wrong, Western medicine serves its purpose. If I was in a car accident tomorrow, don't take me to my holistic doctor. Take me to the emergency where they could sew me up and do what they got to do. So I don't want anybody saying, okay, well, what? No, there's a place for everything and everyone. And
Mhm.
Western medicine definitely has its purposes. They're great with curing pain immediately and all that kind of stuff. But for me, long term, I go to my holistic doctors first. My last resort is a medical doctor.
Mm.
And I have been like that for the last probably 8 years. Like I've
Mm.
just always looked for alternative ways to heal myself. Um, I know not everybody can do that. I know it's costly, it's a different price. I get it. But my health is more important than drinking Starbucks every day, eating out, things of those kind of nature. So I understand people are going to be like, well, you have the money to do this and do that and hire a chef and do. Yes, I do. But before I met my husband, I didn't. And there were other things that I did on my own that didn't require a lot of money. It
Mm.
requires your time and your little bit of research,
And
but
commitment.
and commitment.
Yes.
Everybody can control their
Discipline.
health. Yeah,
Mhm.
everyone has the ability to control their health, and I don't want people to put a number on it. Like, I don't have the money. Yes, you do.
Right.
So,
No, and I think that's one thing that people just think that some of this stuff isn't, like, attainable and available to them. It's just and
right,
then they just write it off and just say, "Screw it." Like,
yeah,
this
yeah,
is just the cards that I've been dealt with, and I'm just gonna deal with some high blood pressure. I'm just gonna deal with this diabetes, and it's just that, um, no one's born with those things.
no,
Typically,
typically,
there's children born with heart issues and things like that, but I don't think, and I have to do the research, I don't think people are born with high blood pressure and diabetes and things
no,
like that, That's
no. Well,
typically
there's kids that can end up having diabetes. Like, I
right.
hate the word genetic, but there are
Right.
issues where kids do have stuff. That's a whole nother topic as to why
Yeah.
these children come in not so perfect. It's
Mhm.
their own lessons and teachings that they're going to be teaching other people. But you're absolutely correct. Diabetes is controlled with diet,
Mhm.
point blank, period.
Specifically diabetes too. Let me, because I know there is the one where it's lower where your blood sugar
Yes,
is too low, and I
yes,
know, there are people who are born with that and
yes,
whatnot, but I'm talking about the one that typically is because you're eating too much crap.
yes. When you put too much
Yeah,
pressure on your kidneys and your liver, and now they
yeah,
can't function the way they're supposed to.
yeah,
Absolutely, you're correct. But a
yeah.
lot of things can be corrected with our diet. And it's
Mhm,
just sad. And trust me, I get it. You're a mom, you're working, you don't have time to make this super healthy meal. You know what I mean? So you go and grab the fast food.
mm, mm.
And then that becomes a routine,
Yep.
and we get stuck in our routines. But if we can start off with, okay, this food is actually my medicine instead of a
Mm,
pill, just
mhm.
imagine how much more better off you would be.
No, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Totally agree. So I've done vegan before. I actually went vegan for like over 6 months. I had my whole family do it because
Wow.
you've seen my family. We like
Yeah.
to barbecue. We eat meat.
Yeah.
Like we get down on the meat.
Yeah.
I
And
like to
it's
smoke.
quite good.
Thank you. And I like to smoke my meat. I have a smoker. That's my
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But we did vegan for a while because I've had some health ailments and I was convinced this was the path to fix everything. Did going vegan fix everything for me? By no means, but it did enlighten me to the power of food. So I did all this research, watch all these documentaries, Forks Over Knives and all this other
Yes,
stuff about, yeah,
yes,
all those things where it's just like vegan, 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 vegan. And, you know, I I I think having done that, it helped me recognize I need to eat more vegetables. I need to integrate more vegetables into my life. I have family members lose substantial amount of weight, and it actually ended up changing their lifestyles too. And granted, we eat meat now. We're back
yes,
on that.
yes.
The only vegan in my family now is my stepdaughter, but even she cheats. She won't admit it. She's probably listening, but she cheats every so often with her
I know it,
dairy and
I
thing.
know it.
Yeah, but I think it's all about balance, you
Yep,
know what I mean? There's like you said, if you're in a car accident, you definitely wanna lean on modern medicines. I don't know if there's really I've heard the stance of, like, bad foods. There's really not a bad food, it's all about moderation, like, you
yes.
really shouldn't be eating a lot of this stuff. You can have
Anything,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, you
Well,
just
even
yeah, you can't you don't
certain mushrooms can kill you if you eat them.
right,
You can't go
exactly.
out and eat certain plants, they can kill you.
Yeah, exactly. Overdoing anything is a bad thing, I think we recognize. So I think doing something like this to reset and reprogram not only your body, but your mind, I think that's like the biggest thing
The
is
biggest thing is the
necessary.
mind. The
Yeah.
biggest thing is the mind. So
Yeah.
if you can honestly keep telling yourself, "I'm doing this to be healthy," even if you're eating the cheeseburger, you
Mhm.
have to simply tell your mind,
Yeah.
"This is giving me some sort of nourishment. It may not
Right.
be the best nourishment, but this is what I can do for myself right now,"
Mhm.
and be okay with that. You can't walk
Or
around feeling guilty.
right, or when you are doing it, you can appreciate it, enjoy the moment
Totally.
of doing it, and
Yeah,
understand you can make other choices later, not
yeah,
necessarily to counter it, but that's going to fill your body in a completely different way. You know
yep,
what I mean?
mhm,
So again, it's just I think that that mindset piece in terms of how you approach the food, in terms of like, this is premium nutrients, or this is going to give me a different bang for my buck.
yep,
As opposed to
exactly.
like, "This is all bad." I think that helps people,
Yeah.
but I think sometimes going full out like you're doing, like a whole vegan, I'm following this path, I think is, sometimes that's necessary, especially at least for me, as I've gotten older, I'm like, I just gotta fit within the box, like, don't give me too much leeway, 'cause then
'Cause
'cause
it's so
then
easy to go fall back into old patterns.
that box starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and my hips starts getting bigger and bigger.
Listen, I told the chef when she came over, I said, "I'm not giving up my tequila. I drink margaritas. I go
Right.
out, I like to socialize, I like to have a margarita." She says, "I respect that." She said, "I want you to do a steam shower or go to your steam room, steam
Mhm.
out after the day after you drink, and let's get a lot of those toxins out.
Right.
Take your powdered enzymes before you eat." Like, she gives me tools so I don't have to
Right.
feel bad because you guys, if you are dreading doing any sort of change in your life that's gonna allow you to
Mm,
be healthy, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not gonna work.
no.
It's just not. So you can sit there and eat all the healthy you want, but if your mind is like, "I hate this, I don't like it, it's disgusting," it's gonna be totally counterproductive. You
You're
have
so
to
right.
enjoy the process.
Yes.
And so I'm not giving that up. But she told
I
me what to do.
I love that you're very clear on the non-negotiable. And I think that's so important, like in terms of a wellness journey, because there should be joy and satisfaction and leisure, I think, in
Mhm.
a wellness journey. Like so many people are just like, again, very like
Rigid.
rigid. Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah,
Rigid.
they're very
And
rigid.
yeah, and I know I've gotten that way, and you end up again boxing yourself in where you just end up breaking it all down. Like, nope,
Well,
this is not
that's why diets don't work.
right.
Most
Right.
people fail their diet because they feel like everything's being taken away from them.
Yeah,
You just can't
exactly.
do that. No.
No,
No.
I think that sometimes you just have to look at things as an opportunity again to again introduce some new habits,
Yeah,
retrain your body, or not even retrain, but I mean, it's just again an introducing or an opportunity to do something different.
yeah,
Um, I think again, that's how you are able to achieve a lifestyle change because as you get older, you get set in your ways. Like that's really what
completely, and
comes
then
down
we
to it.
surround ourselves with our tribe who
Yep,
kinda does the same things we do.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
that doesn't make it easy. You go to your auntie's
No.
house for, Thanksgiving, and they're eating all this stuff. What are you to do?
Right, exactly. So now you can't enjoy yourself. Now you can't it just becomes this whole black and white thing where life
Right.
is so gray.
So
And
gray.
so diet in a sense needs to be gray, but you also just need to give yourself some clear parameters and boundaries so that you're able to flourish and,
Yeah.
live a full life. I think
Yeah.
that's so important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, I mean, I'm looking forward to relieving my allergies, which I know is probably caused by dairy and
Mm,
things that I shouldn't be eating.
mm,
So, hopefully, I feel enough of a shift in my health that now it becomes, I feel better
mhm.
than wanting that XYZ.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the way I feel is not gonna I don't want to have to change the way I feel, meaning good, for a piece of cake or for something that is gonna cause me to go backwards.
Mhm.
I have to be that person to get to that point. Like,
Mhm.
okay, I feel the change, I see the change, and that's enough to keep me going,
For sure.
you
No,
know?
I love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that. So, is there anything else that you're doing besides going vegan that you're integrating into your wellness journey? And how long are you doing this for?
I'm probably gonna do the vegan for 2 months, with, of course, a few cheat days in between,
Mhm.
to be honest.
Yeah.
And I'm probably gonna do it for 2 months because, I don't know if I can sustain it as far as doing it on my own and cooking these meals and prepping, because vegan is a lot of work. It's a
It
lot of
is.
prep. Um, I don't know if I could do that. So I'm planning to do it for 2 months. We're gonna reevaluate the blood in about 6 weeks, and then we'll make some changes there. We'll probably reintroduce some things and change some stuff around, but I'm gonna give it the best shot I got for 6 weeks for sure.
Okay.
And along that, I'm trying to find a trainer to do some weight training, to put
Nice.
strength training back into my routine. And then I'm going to, actually go do yoga at my own yoga studio. So I haven't even done that yet because I had sprained my ankle and then I messed up the other ankle, you guys. So it wasn't like
You
I
messed
was
up
like,
your other ankle?
yeah, the other one was more messed up than the original one.
Oh my gosh, I did not know that.
Oh yeah. So I haven't done even any yoga. So I need to start working out.
Dang, that sucks. That'll slow you down.
Yeah.
Is your
And
blood work showing any reason why that happened with your ankle? No?
Inflammation.
Inflammation.
Yeah,
Okay.
after I had hurt my ankle, the left one, I got really, like, my joints started hurting. Like, I was like, "Am
Mm.
I getting arthritis?" And so when I called my
Mm.
holistic doctor and I said, "Why is my joints hurting?" She's like, "Honey, you probably got too much inflammation in your body.
Mhm, mhm,
Inflammation makes the joints hurt."
mhm.
So and
Mm.
inflammation is caused by diet.
Girl.
So,
Yeah, inflammation.
yeah,
Evil.
yeah, evil.
Evil. It
Yeah,
really is. Well, let me tell you a little bit about me, about what I've got. Well, I've told you. Let me tell
yeah.
them.
Tell them, girl. 'Cause I mean, I definitely think that could help a lot of people that deal with that. So for
Well,
sure.
for sure. So I have hyperthyroidism. It's technically subclinical. There's two different types of or thyroid issues. So you have hyper, where your thyroid is overactive, and then you have hypo, where it's underactive. So mine overcompensates with the thyroid hormones. And so technically speaking, like my metabolism should be like super crazy, which a lot of times I'm always like hungry, like I'm constantly thinking about food. And so it's because my body is telling myself you need to eat because my metabolism's going and my thyroid's telling my body to do that. And
Wow.
so, um, whereas with other individuals who are have hypothyroidism, their metabolism is slow, and a lot of times they don't even think about eating, but they end up gaining weight it's this really interesting dynamic. That's typically what you see, but I've had hyperthyroidism and I've gained weight because I keep eating because I'm just like I'm hungry
because your
and I'm
body keeps saying you're
yeah,
hungry.
I'm hungry, and they say that happens too. But in addition to that, causes a ton of inflammation, as we've been talking about. And so I've lost, and this has all been triggered from my daughter. I should have put it all on Lucky. That's wrong. But
No.
this all happened. I found out about it after I had Lucky. But before I had Lucky, as many as you know, I embarked on a whole IVF journey. So I was poking myself with all these false hormones. So that's a
Mm,
whole other thing. Talk about inflammation. I shouldn't say false, but synthetic hormones. They were not naturally
yeah.
made. And so I likely had issues before that weren't registered yet. Because in order, typically, if you're doing IVF, you're having hormone issues, and your thyroid or is all related to hormones, and that all regulates inflammation. And then also, just big picture, I've also had 8 sinus surgeries. That's for a whole different story. Where I've also taken multiple steroids and antibiotics. So my gut and my inflammation is just like, "What the hell?" You
Yeah.
know? So, fast forward, here I am, about to be 37 in January. COVID's happened, pandemic. I've been sitting on my booty at home, not moving a lot. I've noticed that.
We've all been there.
Everything's just getting a little wider and and heavier, and I'm just, like, talking to my doctor about it. I started getting eczema and rosacea. I'm having these skin issues. I'm just like I was
Yeah.
looking at pictures and I was just like, "I feel like I've aged." Just by the way, I did get some Botox for y'all listening. I'm just sharing not too long ago, because 'cause I'm just like, "I'm tired of looking old."
You do
Most
not look old.
most people can't tell. I showed my mom. I'll have to show you the before and afters, Jennifer,
Yes.
because they are pretty remarkable. Some of these creases are gone. So, so, but that's part of my wellness journey. I'm owning it.
Own
Um,
it, honey.
I'm owning it. But what I'm mostly doing to combat this inflammation that's been happening over these years, and this has been just honestly stacking on top of itself over years, is one, just being honest about my eating habits, and recognizing that this thyroid situation is going to be here for the long term. I saw my endocrinologist not too long ago, and he was like, "You're going to have this probably forever. Like, if you have another baby, it's probably going to get worse. So we have to learn how to manage this." And he told me to stay away from iodine. You typically hear, "You want iodine, you want iodine." I need to stay away from it. I also need to see probably Jennifer's holistic doctors and wonderful people. But
Yeah.
but I did do some research, and that's what it's saying, is that I need to stay a little bit away from iodine. Don't go too crazy with it.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, to really combat inflammation, I have a great doctor who kind of looks at things holistically. He's a Western doctor, but he's like, less is best. Like, you don't want to just take
Yes.
stuff just to take it. He's like, what you need to do is eat right, and you know what you need to do, and move your body, like
Yep.
intentionally move your body. So before I got sick, I was doing really good, and I had moved my body intentionally for 13 days straight,
What?
literally every single day, at least 30 minutes. And
That's
that's just,
awesome.
so hopping on my Peloton or going for a walk
Yeah.
with Lucky or running or doing some yoga, like just making some set intentional time to move my body. And really, I started looking at it as like a form of self care. Like, this is my moment to myself.
Yep.
I ain't got to take care of nobody. I don't have to cook. I don't have to clean. I don't have to work on the social media post or whatever. I just get some time to myself. And sometimes it would be an hour, sometimes, but at least half an hour a day. And sometimes it would be late at night. Sometimes it would be in the morning. I would just make sure I fit it in at least. And it was honestly, it was great to do for those 13 days straight. My
Yeah.
goal was to do 100 days straight, and then I got sick.
That's okay. Now we restarted again.
I know. So I'm gonna start it again. And I'm really looking forward to it. And even though I'm still feeling a little icky from being sick, I really think moving my body helped and eating well. I was eating pretty decent. I wasn't going full on, no sugar or anything like that, but I was really making sure and I wasn't counting calories or anything like that. But I was just being very intentional about what I was eating and just
Yeah.
feeling good about it and enjoying to making it. I don't have a chef. I don't have a chef, but believe me, we talked about working on
We
that.
are we are
We're
gonna have a
working on
chef.
it. Yeah.
We're gonna share our chef.
Yep. But really I was just, what are some fun ways for me to start having fun with food again? Um, and not even being like, oh, I need to cut all this other stuff out, but just being very intentional about the process and making it. And
Yeah.
that even just was just shifting, I noticed um what I was eating and it just created a different um approach. Having
Yeah.
a different approach really had me feel a different intention. And so I did that for, almost 2 weeks. Um, and I
Awesome.
did notice the difference and my pants are a little bit looser and all this other stuff.
Hey.
And being sick didn't hurt. Now it's funny though, because now I'm just like a lot of things I'm just not craving. Cause especially being sick, I'm just like, I don't really want any of those things. And I am looking forward to moving around on my Peloton and might even do some yoga here in the house later. But long story short, for me, my wellness journey is just really trying to reduce this inflammation as well, and just returning to that intentionality with the way that with whatever I decide to put in my body. And enjoying whatever it is. So, if it's a carrot, enjoying those crunches. If it's celery, just
Yes.
enjoying even enjoying just so yeah, basically long story short for me, with my wellness journey is similar to you. It's just really combating this whole inflammation, trying to I don't from what I understand, there's no way to really resolve the whole thyroid thing. There's not a perfect way for that, but I don't want to get on
Right.
medication. And thankfully right now I'm not at the point where I need it. And I don't want to get there.
Right.
So I just need to
Right.
do the things to ensure that I don't, because my numbers were showing it was getting closer to that. So I'm like, all right, how do we get to back to a level of homeostasis or, my normal? I understand my
Yeah.
normal is not everybody else's normal, and that's okay. But how do I get to
That's okay.
how do I get to my level of normal? So it's all gonna be about that intentionality with cooking and eating, enjoying the crunch of the carrots and the celery and things like that, the savory from the cookies and the ice cream and,
Yes.
enjoying those indulging moments, but not overdoing it. Not
Yeah.
overdoing it.
Yeah.
And then I think really moving my body because I used to work in an office. I used to go up the stairs. You know what I mean? I used to walk down the stairs. I used to run all
Yep.
over the place. I don't do that no more. I sit in my
Yep.
house, go to my kitchen.
Well, most people, right, sit in their
Yeah.
cubicles. Now they're working from home. They're not moving. The lymphatic system is not getting
No.
any movement. You've got to keep all of that moving, you guys. The
Yes.
chi, the energy, it has to be moving.
Yes. I mean,
Especially just a tidbit when you get sick. I know people want to lay in the bed when they don't feel good.
you're so
The
right.
most important time to move
Mm.
is when you're sick.
I agree. And that's just it's so funny because I was like, I gotta start moving. I gotta move. Like I spent probably a day in bed, but I was like, all right,
Yeah.
I need to get up a couple of times. I need to get up. And
Yep.
Zell will be like, go lay down. I'm like, no, I need to move. Like I need to
Yes.
sit up, put my chest up, put my shoulders back,
Breathe,
have
take some deep
take
breaths.
some
Yeah.
deep breaths, yes, having a conversation. Like I just need to move. And it's just funny because even before we start talking, I was feeling a little funky earlier today. I've had some more conversations today and I can even feel things are moving just from even talking. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
it really makes a difference just moving your body around, like you said, even when you're sick. So um
Yeah.
I hope
So
that others, recognize we all have our own issues. We all
mhm.
are dealing with our own things. And there's so many different ways to approach this, but I think that it's important that you do approach it. Let's recognize that it exists and then find
Yes.
what works for you to, get yourself to whatever level of wellness that you subscribe to. And
Or Striving to, yeah.
And that doesn't necessarily mean you gotta be skinny, you know what I mean? That doesn't necessarily mean you gotta look a certain way. Um, I think it's about how you feel, you know? I think that's
Yeah,
really what it
that's
comes
all it
down
is.
to.
Yeah, it's about how you feel, and don't get overwhelmed. Start small, do one thing
Yeah.
a week and build up. Like, don't I mean, I think people get this mindset where they have to, like, go head first, dive in, and do it all.
Mm,
That's overwhelming.
it
You've been the
is.
way you are for a long time. You've created this pattern for a long time. It takes time to break it, and don't be hard on yourself. Just try again.
Mhm.
That's it.
No, I absolutely agree. I think it's all I need to read this book, Atomic Habits. Everyone's been talking about it on the internet. I don't know if you've read it.
Mm-mm.
So I'm gonna listen to it, but I hear it's about habit stacking. And so you start
Mhm.
with something small and then it's incremental from there. And part of
Yeah.
me is just like, I don't need to read it. I already know. Like, I already know what I need to do. I just need to
Right.
be consistent and disciplined in doing it. Like,
And doing it. Yeah. That's it.
yeah,
That's what we all need to do, right? Be consistent and disciplined.
yeah, yeah.
And to keep trying, even when you fail, just keep doing it again. Okay, I tried it. It didn't work out. I'm gonna do it again.
Right. And here's the other thing. I think it's important to look at things as not failure seasons. You know what I mean? We all go
Yeah.
through different ebbs and flows. I mean, y'all, we've been surviving a pandemic, you know, wherever your head may lie with how this whole situation's been handled and whatever, it's been rough on everybody, okay? Whether
Yes.
you lost someone or not, whatever, it's been rough. So even just that alone, give yourself some grace
Yes.
and then also just look forward. You know what I mean? Decide what you're going to do to move forward. You don't have to be
Yep.
stuck in this because we got to keep moving. We got to keep moving
You
forward,
have
people.
to.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's too
I
much
agree.
available to us um, to stay stagnant. And I think it's just important, you know, you've got to have the health is wealth. You've got to have your health in check to
Yeah.
embark on anything that you may want to do, whether it be a business, a goal, a dream, a career, whatever it may be. You're not going to be able to do any of those things. You're not going to be able to have a great partner or even have, you know, grow your family and all these other things if you're falling apart,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
I mean, you can. You're just gonna attract the same kind of a person.
Ain't that right? Ain't that
I
right?
mean, people can meet you wherever you're at,
Yeah, you got a
but you
point.
probably don't want that if you're trying to grow and progress and
Right.
live your best life.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
You don't wanna build anything on a house of cards. You know, let's start
Right.
strong. Ain't gotta be
Yes.
perfect, but let's start
So
strong.
you yourself have to get strong. You have to design your life.
Mhm.
It's a life by you. It's not a life by me. It's not a life by MJ. It's a life by you.
Mhm.
So you need to design it. You are in control of it and you can do it.
I agree.
Take the steps to do it.
I agree. Well, guys, I would love to know if you guys have any specific wellness journeys that you all are embarking on for New Year, New Year, New You.
Yep.
It's totally
New year,
okay
new
if you're doing
you.
that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Own it, love it, do it. Feel free to share. Feel free to rate our podcast, whether you're listening on
Yes.
Apple, Spotify, or any of those places. Please leave us a review. We love those and we appreciate them.
Yes,
And
please.
thank you guys for always tuning in. We really appreciate it.
We appreciate every single one of you guys.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.